Hello, everyone. Hello. Still waiting for everybody to log on. I'm still going to be sending in some invites, and I'm going to be uploading the video from yesterday up onto the website. As soon as we get everyone on, looks like someone else on. All right. Okay, so we got Danny here. I just sent out a link. So I'm sure you saw in the email that Miss Beanie, Amy, she's going to be coming in to check in on the class and put out some information. So she wasn't able to come today. She'll be able to come on Thursday. So at that time, she's going to check to see how the class is doing, and she's probably going to let us know whether the class will continue or something new will start. So I really hope to get as many people on between now and then so that they have an opportunity to let her know how the class is going. And then the goal would be for this class to really continue on without having to disband everything and then coming back together as like another class. Because everyone's now used to the systems that we have in place, going on the website, using those resources, etc. Okay, no messages. Okay, so um, what I would like to do now is see if anybody has any questions on systems of equations. I sent out two videos, one for the elimination method, one for the substitution method. All right, I got some more people in here. Okay, so I'm going to kind of repeat what I've been telling the rest of the class. S- So, Amy Spini, she is the advisor for this program and for this class in particular. And she is going to be checking in with us on Thursday, somewhere between like 9 and 10, around that time. And she's going to be asking you guys about how the class is going, how you feel. And the goal for me, and I think the goal for everybody would be for this class just to really continue because there'll be more opportunities for me to take things to the next level. Like I can create more things on the website, videos, chat boxes, things like that, so that we have the ability to take the test after this class ends. So she's going to see how many people are regularly showing up, Aztec, how you like the class, all of that. And, that would be the goal. I don't know if the class were to be, I don't want to say disbanded, but I guess that's really what I can think of it. If the class were to um, end at the time that we're prescribed to end, and pick up at a different time. I don't know who your instructor would be or how any of that would work out. And I know that a lot of you expressed how frustrating it was to go through different instructors before. So by being here, attending class, using Aztec, and showing that you're participating, it's a good way to ensure that's not going to happen. So those of you just logged on, go ahead and visit the website. Make sure that you're filling out that attendance sheet so that we can give you credit for being here. And if you had any questions on systems of equations before we get started, I wanted to give everybody an opportunity to ask. Give everybody a second. I know the chat is pretty slow sometimes. No questions on systems of elimination? Or are we just filling out the attendance right now? Nah, no, nobody has too many questions. Okay. So I'm going to pulse up a problem and we'll start with the elimination method. So we'll start there and then we'll look at if anybody, actually, you know what? Let's look at substitution. See if you guys understand how to use the origin. And if you prefer to use the live chat, let me know. If you want to use the conference call, let me know. So I'll give you a few minutes to look at that. Education Galaxy. He has an individual plan in there you can work on as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this one. So the substitution method, there's a couple of different ways to solve this. That's what I think makes math in a lot of ways easier than reading because it is black and white and there's several ways. In fact, as you're working through this, you can come up with your own methods. Let me know, and I can tell you if they're going to be efficient. So let's look at this one, and we're going to start off with the substitution method. Just wanted to have some light on. Okay. So with the substitution method, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this problem right here. So y equals x plus 4. They're letting you know what the value of y is. So what we have to do now is take that and plug it back into the equation. So we're going to rewrite it knowing what the value of y is. And if you have questions, let me know. Like I mentioned before. Oh, okay. I'll turn the light off. Better? All right. If you guys would like to use if you guys would like to use the conference call, because I know with these there's so many steps that I don't know if the live chat is the most efficient. Okay, good. So I'm gonna call in now. Feel free to join. All right. I am now officially in the conference call. If you would like to join, if you'd like me to put the phone number up, it's the same number, same meeting code. Please let me know. All right. Someone just joined us?
Hi, Ildi.
All right. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Again, if you'd like to join the live chat, let me know by sending me a message in the live. If you'd like to join the conference call, send me a message using the live chat, email, or anything else. All right, let's get started. So we need to substitute this back into the equation. You're going to see a lot of this in the algebra section, which we know is the vast majority of the math portion of the test that you're going to be taking, whether it's HiSET, GED, or Task C. So there's going to be a couple of methods, and today will probably be all math all day long, just because of the fact that this shows up so much and there's so many ways to solve it. So we'll go until about like 9:50, 10 o'clock. I'm going to send out another link again, or you guys can feel free to look at the link that asks you to use the elimination method. And that way we're getting that additional support and everyone gets the time to work it on their own. I know some of you guys requested to kind of also do Aztec. So that'll give you some time there. So we're going to fill this back in here. So y equals x plus 4. So we're going to rewrite this as 12x minus 5. Now, there's a couple of ways I can do this. I can use the x. I can also use this decimal to show that I'm multiplying. And I can put everything else in parentheses, right? So we know that it's not just y, it's actually going to be x plus 4 because y equals x plus 4. Everything else is going to stay the same. Questions on that so far?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. I'm going to use the whole board, so I'm going to make it so that the whole board shows up. Okay. Moving on. So from here, it's like everything else that we've been doing. There's a couple of different methods. Now, you can combine like terms. You can multiply in the parentheses. I always say to stick with the same method that we use constantly. So in this case, I really can't combine these, right? X plus 4 is still going to be x plus 4. So what I would recommend to do is to multiply into the parentheses. This is what you would do if you try to add the parentheses anyway. So it's more efficient. So what I'm going to do from there is I'm going to end up multiplying that in, and I'm going to rewrite it. Notice how I always work like a pyramid from top to bottom. The structure and organization of the problem is also as important as being able to solve it. Even if you're working it out correctly, but you're all over the place, it's not going to be helpful. All right. So I'm going to rewrite it. 12x minus 5. So negative 5 times x would give you negative 5x. Negative 5 times positive 4 would give me negative 20. All right. And I bring down my negative 20. Questions so far? Let's see.
I'm sorry, I got a little confused. Not confused. I couldn't pay attention. Danny can't get on. She said
Yeah, I saw that on the thing. Says my pin is. Yeah, it should be 161 8044. Try giving it another call. If not, I can call you directly, and then we can do it that way as well. If you'd like me to write up the number or on the web, it's also on the website as well. And then Ruth says no questions. Okay. So give that a shot, Danny, and then let me know in the live chat if you have any problems. Did you have a question, Ellie?
Actually missed the whole. Okay, so the in the parentheses, the x plus 4, we brought it down 12 times. Okay, so we combined the two.
Yeah, we're combining like terms.
I missed the whole thing.
Oh, that's all right. So right here, right now, you can probably guess as to what's going to happen, right? You can see that some things are just naturally going to eliminate. So what do we know right off the bat is going to eliminate?
20. We're going
Yeah.
to add 20 on both sides.
Now, so remember, we always want to stick with the rule of having the variables on one side and then our whole numbers or our numbers on the other side. And we're always doing inverse operations. And I keep using these mathematical terms because the more you hear them, then when you see it in a problem, you're not going to be intimidated. So when we're doing the opposite, we're going to use a word inverse, meaning you're just doing the opposite of whatever is going on in the problem to start getting rid of things, right? It's kind of like if you're in a relationship and you're mad at your significant other, whatever they say, you argue, right? It's just like that, except in the world of math, we call it inverse. So you're just doing things to get rid of it, to stop it, right? So we need to get rid of this 20. So we can add 20 here. If we add 20 here, what we notice now is that we got rid of the 20 here, but the 20 on the other side of the equal sign is now a 0. So what do we have to work with now? We have 12x minus 5x equals 0.
What happens when all of our variables on one side?
Well, when we have no more variables left, then we've solved it. I mean, when we have nothing but the variable left, then we solve it. So now that we're here, what should we do?
We just take 5x out of 12x.
Yeah, that's it. All right, so you're going to have, so 12x minus 5x is 7x. So you have 7x equals 0. Make sure I can actually still see. I can see. Okay. So now what? And feel free in the live chat to let me know what the next step is.
Oh, I divided by 7.
So x equals what? Well, 0 divided by 7 is what?
0.
Look at that, LC. You got it. So x equals
0.
There you go. All right, so one moment. Let me make sure that we have everyone who wants to join the conference call. Okay. So try 1718 362 6120. Just trying to see if I can get as many people join the conference call as possible. So try that and then let me know if it's letting you join. Because if not, I can just merge. I can call you and then merge the calls. And I originally started using the conference call because a class I was substituting for before, we'd have as many as like 20 students. So I wasn't able to do that. We were using Zoom. Good. Okay, so Danny, you're following along. So let me know if that works for you. Now, one thing you're going to notice is that this is all, again, about being organized. Okay. And being honest with you, I'm not the most organized person with paper. I'm very organized with technology. I make technology um, do most of the organization for me. So, but with math, there's a couple of little things you can do. We know the x is 0, but we're not done, right? We need to plug this back into the equation to figure out what the y equals. So, what I always recommend to do to stay organized is I would go start a brand new problem, right? So, I'm going to write this down, x equals 0. Then I'm going to go to a brand new section of my paper or brand new sheet of paper, and I'm going to plug everything in from scratch. This helps me stay organized. It may seem like it's a waste of time and space, but it is not. Okay. All right. So join. Okay. So let's look at having Danny join us. Danny, can you send just the first 3 digits of your phone number? I'll call you right now and I'll add you to the chat as a group call. I have so many numbers on my phone, I don't know sometimes who's who. So if you send me the first 3 digits of your phone number, I'll know who you are. I could not find you based off the name. Let me try again. Oh, okay. I found you. Never mind. I got you. Oop, my apologies.
Hello?
Hello, Danny? All right, Danny, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. LD, are you still online? LD?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, so there we go. So now everybody's on. Okay. So, Danny, any questions about this so far? And for those of you at home, anybody else questions so far? Yeah. All right.
I understood this one. It was good for me.
Okay, so this one made sense? Okay. All right. So I'm pretty sure now everybody knows exactly what we're about to do next. Biggest thing, like I said, is to keep organization, right? So we know that y equals x plus 4, right? But we know what the x equals. Now, and here's the thing. I could plug the 0 into here and work this out. And some of you guys might say, oh, well, that's -5 divided by, or -20 divided by -5, which is going to give me +4. You could do that, right? If you have trouble sleeping at night or you like a challenge. If not, you know that this equation is much easier. So you could just say, all right, y equals 0, because that's what the x is, plus 4. Y equals 4. So that's a simple method. And again, if you like a challenge, you could say, all right, well, let's plug it in here. So 12 times 0 is nothing. Minus 5y equals -20. Well, let's divide by -5. That leaves me with y. Divide by -5. -20 divided by -5 is +4. I always say keep in mind that this test is going to be hours long. So I always recommend using the path of least resistance. You are going to see a lot of problems that are just like this. Questions so far?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good? At home? No questions? Okay. All right. So let's do another one. Another one. All right. So let's look at negative 5x plus 4y equals 3. And you have x equals negative 2y minus 15. And whenever you think you have the answer, feel free to let me know in the live chat. Feel free to let me know through the conference call.
I need to follow along. I can't even begin.
Okay, so it looks intimidating. Guarantee start it. It's not going to be too intimidating.
Okay.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started on this one, and then I can send you guys a. You guys can check the link in the email for more questions, or if you feel comfortable with it. Well, given the fact that no one's actually giving me the answer, we're gonna walk through this, and then I'll let you guys work on some practice problems. We'll come back. So, what's the first step I'm going to take?
Rewriting the problem, plugging X in.
Correct. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Now, again, I don't have a lot of space, so I always erase this because I want it to be easy to follow. So we're going to rewrite this as negative 5. Now, remember, you can use the multiplication sign, you can use the decimal, you can use parentheses. Let's just stick with the parentheses for the sake of continuity. All right. Plus 4y equals 3.
Get out of here now.
Now what am I going to do?
Okay, where were we? So now you're going to times the negative 5 into the negative 2y and the negative 15.
All right, and now what am I going to do, Ildi?
I'm still trying to see how we put this together. how did we? The negative 5 times negative 2.
And this is actually not a negative 2y.
Yeah, like negative 5.
Yeah, sorry, I just realized that. It's positive 2y.
Negative 5 and put that and put it there.
So negative 5 times 2y. What is that?
Okay. Negative 10y times 2y.
Negative 10y.
Positive negative 10y, yeah. Multiply, okay. I'm trying really hard to understand it. I promise.
That's all right. Where do you feel like you're getting confused at?
Okay, so negative 10y. I'm sorry?
Oh, it's okay. I'm sorry. All right, so what's the next step?
Okay, and then 5 times, that's negative 75?
Well, we're multiplying two negatives.
It's going to be
There we go.
It's positive 70. So.
And then what?
Plus. Is it plus?
Yep.
Yeah.
Plus what?
75. Plus, do we leave the 4 as it is?
Yep. We leave the 4y as it is. 4y. And what else?
And then equals 3. Okay?
There you go. So now what do we do?
Now we work with the 10y and the positive 4y.
Good. And our goal is to always have the variables on one side and the whole number on the other side, right? And what method are we using to get rid of everything? Starts with an I?
But I'm a little confused because we lost the letter X.
Huh?
Gone.
Yes, because we plugged in what X equals. X equals 2y minus 15. So remember, the letters always represent the unknown. It's kind of like saying it's $5 to go see a concert. And you're trying to figure out how many people went. So if it's $5 to go see a concert, you don't know how many people went. We'll use that as X. But you know you made, let's say, $25. Well, that means 5 people went to the concert. So because 5 times 5 gives you 25. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So now all we did was substitute that in. So now that we're here, our goal is to get the variables on one side and the whole numbers on the other.
Okay, so right now, do we do negative 10 plus positive 4?
Yep, as long as we get the variables on one side and the whole number on the other. So let's go ahead and do that. Negative 10 plus 4y. What's that going to give you?
Negative 6y.
Negative 6y. So I have negative 6y plus 75 equals 3.
Okay, we're gonna subtract 75 from both sides.
Correct. And now I'm left with negative 6y equals, and what's 3 minus 75?
Negative 72.
Now, for most of your tests, you will normally get a whole number as an answer. So normally, you're not going to get too many decimals. You're not going to get too many fractions on the test. Normally.
Now we're going to divide by 6.
So what does y equal? If I divide negative
Right, then it's
6
gonna
on both
be
sides,
positive 7.
y equals what?
Um,
Sorry, negative 6.
I can't see it.
Negative 72 divided by negative 6.
12.
Positive 12. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this here. I'm going to end that right there. And I'm going to let you guys work on that. We're going to come back and see if we could do it completely on our own. So I'm going to give you guys about 20, 30 minutes to work on that. And we're going to come back. See if you guys can do it independently. So I'll give you guys a few minutes and then I'm going to come back. And then it'll also give me a chance to make sure my connection and everything stays stable. All right. So I'll see you guys in about 20, 30 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Sure.
Okay.